Lately, I've been really wondering where this is all going. How will the world start to make sense and work? Have some rhythm again. It's like I can't find a beat that I can dance to. The floor feels like sand, and every time I force myself to stand up and go for it, everything moves under or around me. Goals don't stick, plans dissolve, people disappear. When I look at 2025, that's the pattern. Try, flail, fail. Then I'm just left with faith. Faith that it will change eventually, that it's not just happening to me, that it's not some karmic punishment or a failure of manifestation, that this isn't happening because I didn't meditate enough or because I started eating bacon cheeseburgers. I've done a ton of psycho-spiritual work on myself the past 8 years because my life burned down completely. I was divorced, canceled, moved cross country, moved a bunch more, the damage of the pandemic that we all endured. Everything that used to work just doesn't. It's like life is just broken somehow. The magic that used to keep life sparkly is gone. And it's hard to say if the magic left us or if we left the magic. It's a chicken or the egg problem with this broken world. Did our actions ruin it? Or did our absence ruin it? That was one reason I left social media, to go find out, to see if I could re-enchant the world by being more present in it. On the one hand, yes, I found a lot of magic again in nature. But without people and a network of relationships and communities, the magic isn't working for me as a human being. It's very lonely out here in the real world right now. And yet I can't go back to the cage that I escaped. Once you leave your cage, it will feel like you're dying if you have to go back into it. Anytime I start to feel like I want to die, then it's like I'm already dead. So I just say, fuck it. I choose to live. I take the risk. Anything but this. I'd rather die trying to live than to live a dead life. A life without passion, joy, excitement, adventure is not a full life. And it's a choice to just worship money and give money and the pursuit of it supreme power over deciding our fate. That's called materialism. And it doesn't have a place in a magical world. The magical world is the one where you leap first and the net then appears. Takes passion and bravery, and it's backed by faith. And for most of my life, that worked out really well for me. My life was a chain of unlikely dreams, seeming impossibilities, and ridiculous plans that all somehow happened and came together. And not at all how I imagined it, but better. But then when my life was burned down on social media, something broke inside of me. It's like I saw the cage really for the first time, and I didn't want to see it. I defended the cage. I tried to stay within it, but push the limits as much as I could. But I stretched to the limits when I spoke the truth about how destructive the left had gotten, when I stood up to all the misplaced anger and bullying in my community. The cage would not allow complexity. You're either in the cage or you're out, and so I got out. It wasn't until I left the cage that I realized how limited I was letting myself be, how weak my flying muscles were. Could just mean social media. The cage could mean our phones and computers. The cage could mean technology in general. The cage could be politics. The cage could be censorship. The cage could be seen as our entire country. The cage could actually be seen as the entire world at this point. I mean, it would have to take an entire comprehensive program of control, sedation, distraction, fear, illness, and confusion that's all enforced by remote surveillance to even suppress the human spirit of an entire population of people who claim to love freedom. What the hell is that? I still love freedom. And I know how much it's cost me. It cost me everything material. My freedom has earned me peace, health, grit, character, integrity. Authenticity is a word that's truly abused by posers out there, but trust me, it's made me more authentically me to live outside the cage. Getting out of it and being true to my soul's calling was expensive on the outside, and it made me rich on the inside. My light still shines pretty bright considering the hardship I've had to endure, like living in my truck and being banished from my old performing career, which I truly loved and poured my love and time into for a long time. I chose the life of an untouchable, a social outcast, over going back to the cage. I just felt that the left was going insane and the right wasn't insane enough. I just stay out here and look for the truth and try to find the other people who also just want to be themselves. I didn't know I was choosing to be untouchable at the time, but I would choose it again. I thought there would be more folks like me out here. It's surprising to me, even 8 years after being canceled, how many people are still triggered by my freedom, by my boldness. It's become just such a part of me now, but it freaks people out because I give myself permission to be free and I handle the consequences of it, and they do not. And it's terrifying for them. It's like they're saying to me, who do you think you are? Why do you think the rules don't apply to you? People have said to me that you're a degenerate, just get a job. But I can't just go back into the cage anymore. And really, I'm an artist. Why should I? My wingspan is just too big now. I don't fit. As an artist, I know that my job is to be on the frontier and report back, to stay on the outside enough so that I have perspective. And the perspective is navigational so that we can see where the culture needs to go, where the blind spots and traps are. An artist is here to disturb the peace, to push the limits, to question everything, and to road test the methods by which we become more human, more fully ourselves, more fully expressed, more in bloom. Being an artist was never about me and my comfort. It's a service job that demands bone-searing honesty with yourself. So in many ways, I am just doing my job. But artists are very misunderstood and they tend to die in obscurity. I just don't agree to those terms, but I also can't quite find a way out of isolation. I understand why people with children and mortgages are risk averse and why they choose to stay in the cage. But I also think that's a ticking time bomb because they're teaching their children that suppressing your soul is not only okay, but required. And I just don't think we need to live in a world where that is true. At least I'm not going to participate in one. As an artist, it's my job to prove that that's not true. That you don't have to suppress your soul just to live in the world. What if the price of your freedom is worth more than your house, worth more than your job, worth more than playing along in a horrible charade and convincing yourself it's just the way that it is? Misery and conformity is just how it is. Get with the program, kid. Take your medicine. Order groceries to be delivered. Wear plastic clothes made by children in foreign countries. Maybe one day, with enough expensive education, you can be part of the useless managerial class and enforce bureaucracy too. All you have to do is plug in, zone out, stay inside, be afraid, wash, rinse, repeat. And it sounds like a joke when I'm saying it, but this is exactly what's happening. And the more distance I get from the seductive spell of the cage, the more I can see how it works. Because it worked on all of us. At least everyone who bought a cell phone. What if life outside the cage would just be our normal magical life again? If there were more of us out here? For me, getting out started with leaving social media. There's been many other things that I've left, which I talk about all the time. But it took me 3 times to finally leave social media because I kept returning because I missed people. So I'd go back to find them on social media, hoping that something would change. And even though I did see people online on social media, we weren't connecting. They weren't coming to my shows. We weren't having fun together. We weren't being there for each other in hard times. We were passively witnessing parrots playing charades. And I'm not going back this time. Even if it stays this lonely the rest of my life, I'm not going back. I guess I'm finally at a place I can just be happy no matter what, as long as I'm not lying to myself or squishing my soul or making myself conform to nonsense bullshit. On social media, I have been stolen from, attacked, slandered, insulted, misunderstood, and villainized to the point of breaking. It broke me, and I am blessed for it. And I always say that as an artist, I do this so you don't have to. You know, I hope to spare a lot of people a lot of misery by just saying my experience and sharing it. And then hopefully it gains momentum, becomes a movement, that there are more of us. But I just don't do cages anymore. Freedom is like a fire. It's an inner fire. And I feed my freedom with passion, with my love, with my curiosity. And being an artist means staying curious. And really, life is the art. It's like I'm a master at living life creatively. And that's what I share. Life is here to be explored. And human animals are meant to go on adventures together. We are social animals. Our social life was hijacked from us. And our souls were squished, compressed, bottled up, boxed, caged in tight. But if you listen to your heart again and come back. So I'm calling to anyone who can hear me, listen to your heart again. Come back to the magic of the real world. It's better out here. This isn't just how it is. How it is up to us. It's up to you. We all make the choices that create how it is. And leaving the cage is the price. And your freedom is the reward. I'll see you out here. Stay wild.